Welcome to the session. Topic of this session is sensitivity analysis. When we measure the project worth to identify the best projects for implementation, we face certain challenges, certain issue. And the most important challenge is the uncertainty in the benefit and cost which are going to be appear in the projects. So if there is no we cannot identify the correct estimation of the benefit and cost, we cannot find the correct measure of the project worth and we cannot take the correct decisions for the projects which we are going to be select. So to deal with such situation, we have the different techniques and we have the some provision in the discounted measure of the project worth, that is called as the sensitivity analysis. And basically in this session we will be discussing the meaning, the scope and also the limitation of the sensitivity analysis, and also we will be discussing the different techniques of the sensitivity analysis to find out the best projects to measure the best estimates of the project worth. And there are different methods for the project evaluations, and we assume that the both cost and the benefits are known with certainty. But we cannot give the estimates of the cost and benefit with certainty. In the real world it is not true, may not be true, because these evaluation methods may not provide sufficient framework to set out the true perspective of the benefit and cost which are involved in the project activity. So particularly the agriculture projects, they are sensitive to the change in factors such as prices, the delay in the implementation, or the cost overrun or the yield. There are maybe some biological factors, there may be some micro in the market factors, there may be some agroclimatic factors. So there is always chance of some variation, or there is always some uncertainty is there in the project benefit and cost. And to evaluate the project with such situation or under such situation, there are techniques, approaches useful in applying the discounted measure of the project worth. And so that's in this lens we will be learning some of the approaches useful for evaluating the agriculture project, which are going to be implemented under the varied conditions. And sensitivity analysis, the techniques we use under such uncertainty situation, and basically it is an analytical techniques to test systematically the changes in the earning capacity of a project if events differ from the estimates made about them in the planning. So at the time of the planning, we have some estimates about the cost or the project output or the return, and due to some events, some changes or some disturbance, if these estimates are not correct, so in such situation we use the sensitivity analysis, and it is basically a means of dealing the uncertainty about the future events and values. So what will happen in the future, so to tackle that variation in the future events or in the values, we use the sensitivity analysis. And basically we conduct the sensitivity analysis by varying one elements or a combination of the elements and then determine the effect of that change on the outcome. And basically we use variation actually most often on the measuring the project worth. And in case of the agriculture project, we use the sensitivity analysis, and we should actually test the effect on the earning capacity, or we should test the change in the earning capacity due to change in the prices, due to cost overrun, delay in the implementation, or change in the yield. And sensitivity test need not to be directed at the effect of change in the measure of the project worth, and can be used to determine the effect of delay in benefits on cash position of the farmers who had borrowed the money from the bank for an irrigation purpose. So actually, not only we measure the effect on the project worth, we also measure the effect of the change in the the farmer's cash position. So we also measure through this technique. And the another different type of sensitivity analysis is the basically determining the switching value. So we will also discuss about the switching value later in this presentation. And when we talk about the scope of sensitivity analysis, if there is no firm probability of the future value of the parameters which are likely to be affect the outcome of the benefit cost studies, and in that situation, if there is no fixed probability, or we cannot find out the probability of change in the future value, in that condition we use the sensitivity analysis. And actually in that condition, the sensitivity analysis basically describe the quantitative uncertain outcomes and to the decision maker. And actually we cannot find exact value of if there is no probability attached to the future outcome, we cannot exactly calculate the outcome or change in the output or the cost. So in that condition only we describe the the situations, and different value of the uncertainty variable are used to construct alternative scenario of the outcome for presentation to the decision maker. Analysis should carry out such sensitivity analysis if there is uncertainty about the magnitude of the social discount rate or the future price ratios or shadow prices for unemployment resources. So in such situation we should carry out the sensitivity analysis, and basically these techniques are generally valuable to deal with any type of environmental or technological uncertainty, even due to some problem or some variation in the environment, or there is some risk in the availability of technology, and we can deal by such changes by using this sensitivity analysis. And we have important usages of the sensitivity analysis, and basically it is the useful steps in tackling the problems which are created by the uncertainty in the benefit and cost analysis. Even where the probability cannot be attached to outcome, at least we can discuss and we can describe the situation even the probabilities are not there for the cost and benefit. And this sensitivity analysis, they basically reveal that the foreseeable uncertainty, actually we can visualize the uncertainty which may affect the viability of the single project or the ranking of the alternative projects. So if we see, we find that there may be some uncertainty. In that condition, we have to change our decisions. So it helps in ranking of the alternative project also, and they also reveal the parameters in the analysis which are most sensitive in decisions. So we can identify the parameter which are most sensitive to the in the analysis. And there are different techniques of the sensitivity analysis, and we are going to discuss about them. And there are techniques for incorporating the uncertainty directly into the benefit cost analysis, and there are two methods, like one is the shortcut techniques such as using higher social discount rate, and another is the artificially limiting the economic lives of the project. And then we will also examine here in this presentation the problem with the use of point estimates of probability, and we will also briefly discuss the extension techniques like Monte Carlo simulation method or decision tree. So let us start the discussion about using the shortcut methods of allowing uncertainty. And in this techniques, there are two things we can do. We can give a premium in the social discount rate, or we can artificially limit the life of the projects to find the the results or to measure the project worth. So, and we occasionally use these techniques, and the analyst use discount rate for two purposes. So basically, there are two purposes of using the discount rate is in this technique. One component is for the uncertainty purpose, and another component to express the social opportunity cost of capital or social time preferences. So actually, when we use the discount rate in the discounting techniques, so we also introduce some element of uncertainty, and so that if there is a discount rate or the social opportunity discount is 12%, so we will add additional 2% for our uncertainty component. So in that we will use the 14% discount rate. So rationale behind this procedure is that if the project are of the longer duration and the forecast of benefit and cost become more speculative, so in that condition actually we use the these methods. Then so here basically we add a premium to the discount rate for our uncertainty component, and it reduces the importance of data forecasted for the remote future. So if the project of 20 years, so if we are including the higher discount rate, we are increasing the discount rate by adding the premium for the uncertainty. It will reduce our dependency on the the data of data on the remote future. So like after 10 years there is no need to bother about, because we are getting more return from the project. So and for justification of this procedure, that the private sectors want high rate of interest in the risky investment in the initial period. And there is a limited validity of this procedure also, because using the discount rate for uncertainty has limited validity, but it implies that uncertainty compounds itself at a fixed rate over the period of. So if you are increasing the 2% uncertainty component in the discount rate, it means the uncertainty is also compounding over the period of time. So that's why it has a limited validity. So and in actually this it is not possible, and where degree of uncertainty is attributed to the future value of the variables, it is preferable to estimate have the estimates of future annual benefit and cost that reflect this different degree of the uncertainty in variables, and to aggregate present value using the riskless discount rate. And then the another shortcut methods of allowing uncertainty is second is the basically imposing an artificial limit on the life of the project. If the benefit are expected to continue for 20 years, so in that condition what we will do in the analysis, we may specify the project duration as 5 years or 10 years to meet the specified investment criteria depending upon the degree of the uncertainty. And actually if the project duration is of 20 years, so what we will do, we will mention in the analysis the 10-year duration. So our dependency on the future is not so certain. So that's why we artificially reduce the life of the projects for the analysis purpose only. And there may be arbitrariness in the selection of the length of such cutoff period, and this procedure is superfluous where long cut off period are used in conjunction with any sizable discount rate. And the another method of sensitivity analysis is the collapsing the distribution of possible outcome into several numbers. Actually, when we calculate the single valued estimates of a certain outcome, such as the expected value of the project, data on possible variance in project outcome is concealed. Actually, there are different components and there are different part of the output, and we are calculating the risk on the value of the project as a whole. So it concealed it does not provide the complete information about the variation, the possible variation in the project output, and this provides insufficient information for the decision maker. So here basically we can calculate such single valued best estimates augmented by the most optimistic, most pessimistic projection of the likely outcome. So instead of giving the the one figure, one estimates, we use we can calculate the the most optimistic or most pessimistic projection of the likely outcome, and such calculation give an idea of the range of the possible project outcome. So here we can get a range of the possible outcome, and so but again it do not reveal the probability attached to the most likely the outcome, or the most optimistic outcome, or the most pessimistic outcome. So we can calculate the three types of estimates, like the most likely estimates, the most optimistic, the most pessimistic, but we do not have the probability for each in the possible in this estimates. So there are problem with this various form of the point estimates. So here you can see the we have the projects, and that is of 4-year duration, period 1, period 2, period 3 and period 4, and for each years, basically for each period we have calculated, we have estimated three information, like most pessimistic output, the most likely output and the most optimistic output. So so and we have given the probability of this different estimates. So here in NB is basically the net benefit, net present value of the benefit, basically the probability of occurring that output. So here it is assumed that each of the probability associated with this annual net benefit estimate is independent of the previous net benefit. So here in the there is a 50% probability of achieving a net benefit of 9 in the second period, regardless of the period 1 net benefit. So if we have estimated that a net benefit will be 9 in the period 2, and then we have the probability of this occurring of 9 is 50%, and but this 9 figure is basically independent of the previous year, like previous year figure is the 10 and the probability is 60%. It is basically independent. So like here in this manner we can give the 3 different estimates, and we can find out some probability of that. And the most likely estimates of total benefit occurring in the 4-year period we consider here. So like in the sum of the most likely benefit will be 36. So in the slide you can see in the most likely estimate is basically 10 plus 9 plus 9 and plus 8. So it become 36, and most optimist basically that it totals comes to 56, and least optimist benefit comes to the 16. So to find out the total probability of each of this projection, we have to find out the product of the probability of each components of the outcome in the period. So like if you want to find out the probability of 36, what is the probability of getting the total output 36, which is in the most likely case, we have to we have to multiply the in the probability of each individual component. So the most likely estimates only has the 0.09 chance of occurring. So if you multiply the period wise probability, like 0.6 multiplied by 0.5, that is multiplied by 0.5 and then again 0.6, so we get the figure 0.09. So getting of 36 output is the probability is only 9%, and so that is the figure actually we want to know. Then another method is based of giving the calculation of the calculation of the probability distribution of outcome when events are independent. So this is the another method, and there are direct methods or there are simulated methods. And so basically, we have the direct and simulated calculation of the probability distribution of outcome when events are independent. So probability distributions basically, we find out the chance of getting that particular results or output or outcome. So we find out that probability, and so direct calculation of probability distribution of outcome. If you want to calculate the direct calculation, we require a specification of the probability distribution of variables affecting the outcomes, and then we find the interrelation between these distributions. So in the previous table what we have discussed in this presentation, there are only 3 net benefit figures for each year in the 4-year period. So most pessimistic, most likely, and the most optimistic. So these are the 3 net benefit figures we have, and in our 4-year model. So there are a total of 3 to the power, means total 81 possible outcomes in that project. So and when the various combinations of probability are considered, so when we consider the different combinations, so there are possibility of getting the 81 different possible outcome in the project. So but it is impractical to work out probability distribution of outcome by hand when we have the larger total combination of the probability in the projects. So for instance, if the project life quintuplate to 20 years, so instead of 4 years, our project life is 20 years, and there are again 3 estimates of net benefits, like optimistic, the most likely, and pessimistic for each year of the project period. So we have a total of 3 is to the power 20. So nearly 3.5 million possible benefit stream for the process. So these are the different chances, 3.5 million possible chances if we have the project for 20 years. In such circumstances, what is required? We need to have a sample of the possible outcomes. So we cannot consider all the this outcome, 3.5 million possible benefit stream. So here we can have a sample instead of all the possible outcome. Now we will see the computer simulations methods which we can use to generate a manageable synthetic sample of the such outcome. And first, for that purpose, first we specify the probability distribution of value for each variable affecting the outcome for each year, that is basically each year benefits, and then we randomly select a value for each of the underlying variables affecting the total outcome, and then we obtain a sum of the randomly selected values for variable affecting the outcome. So here, to build up a probability distribution of the outcome, we simply repeat the process of assigning the random value to the variables affecting the outcome and calculation of the outcome many times, and the computation process is termed as basically the Monte Carlo technique, and this process is concluded when the further calculation no longer affect the relative frequency of the outcome. And after calculating the total distribution of outcome by hand or by computer, the analyst summarize the implications of the distribution for the decision maker by computing the usual estimates of central tendency or dispersion, such as the mean or standard deviation or variance. Then another methods of sensitivity analysis where independent decisions making we have where uncertainty is there, in that condition what we do, we have the decision tree analysis. So decision involving uncertainty in a project may be sequential in time or executed in time. So we have the projects, in that there are different activities, or there are a number of the projects are there which has to be implemented in the sequence, or which are basically executed in different stages. So here decision maker have the options open at some stage of the project which are closed off by taking a particular course of the action. And one method which has been employed to deal with such problem is that of using the decision tree. And basically this decision tree method help us the decision maker by revealing the time sequence of point in a project at which decision have to be taken, and they also help us in having the options on strategies they provide the information on the option and strategies available at the decision point, and basically they reveal the uncertainty associated with the particular course of the action, and they also reveal the cost of the alternative course of action foreclosed by the choice of the particular option. And due to that complexity, decision tree are used infrequently. They are not commonly used, and because there is a complexity involved in such analysis. And this analysis is not also required where the range of the outcome is independent of the previous decisions. And then another variance of the switching, another variance of the sensitive analysis, the switching value. And basically in a straightforward sensitive analysis, we choose an amount of change in an important element of the project analysis, and then determine the impact of that change on the attractiveness of the yield. Like like we give some. We are thinking that there will be change in the price of the product. So so we give some changes in that particular element, and we see the impact of that change in particular element on the project output. But in case of the switching value, we actually when we calculate a switching value, we see the magnitude of change in an unfavorable direction before the project no longer meets the minimum level of acceptability as indicated by one of the measure of the project. So actually without changing, we first measure the how much changes are going to be there without changing that particular parameter, and we see that if this uncertainty is if uncertainty is there, and we can whether we can go with this uncertainty and there is no harmful effect. If the uncertainty in the element do not provide negative results, then we can go with that project as such. So actually in that condition, basically the decision maker determine whether to proceed with the project or not. If the due to the variation is not much affecting our positive results, we can accept the project. If the variation is affecting the positive results, or it is going towards the negative side, then we can take we can decide to accept or not to accept the project. And now we can sum up the session that the sensitivity analysis tests systematically what happened to the earning capacity of the project if events are different from the planned estimates, and it is valuable means to deal with the uncertainty about the future events and the value, and it is performed by varying the effect of a combination of elements and determining the effect of that change on the outcome. And the switching value is another form of the sensitive analysis we can use to compare the risk in the project analysis. With this, I thank you.